Greetings adventurers, this is Lauren, your guild advisor, and we just got a ton of information about Argonaut Part 2, and I don't think we're supposed to get this information yet, since they updated the in-game news earlier today, and then we got access to all this information, and then they basically took it down from in-game, but if you had the link to that information you could still see it. So I'm going to go over all the stuff that's been accidentally revealed for the update that will happen tomorrow for Part 2 of Argonaut, and it's a lot of stuff to go over, so let's get started. First up, we see the first new banner for Argonaut Part 2, featuring a new Argonaut unit. This time he's on a welfare unit. He's going to be a prime contender for War Games, as you'll see in a bit, and also Orna will be the assist character on that banner. Of course, it's time limited with double the gacha rate, similar to the banners in Part 1. And you can get characters on the general pool, such as like the bridal units and characters like that. It's not just limited to these two characters as the 4 stars you can get, but it's still double the gacha rate, so it's still a good banner to pull on. And you get your guarantee on the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th draw as usual. And then on the second banner, we have a new Ariadne assist, and we also have Cotto as our other adventurer. So there'll be 2 adventurers and 2 assists. Not the 6 that we had last time, but we're also going to get Season 2 units every week with each new episode of Season 2, so we're not going to get overloaded with units, but even though we probably are going to get overloaded because we'll be getting new characters each week now. But let's go over their skills and stats. First, we have the Dawn Argonaut, will be a physical attacker. At level 80, he'll have pretty dang high attack at 1618. And his agility is also very high at 965. And then when he's max ascended, his attack is almost 2000, which means he's pretty much a monster. And then at agility, also over 1000 when he's max ascended. And might I just say, the art for Argonaut is just, he looks amazing. I can't wait to see what he's going to do in the story. We know he's going to fight the Minotaur, and it looks like it's going to be great. Okay, as for his skills, I'll go do a character analysis after this video. Hopefully it releases sometime tomorrow. But as for now, we'll slowly go over all the skills. His special arts is Dear Argonaut, an ultra AoE fire physical attack with a temporary strength boost. And also, it will increase the AoE damage received by the enemy by 30% for 1 turn. So this special arts will go off, and then for the rest of that turn, AoE attacks will do more damage against your enemies. And then his first combat skill is Hero Rising, which is a fast AoE low fire physical attack and increases Argonaut's strength and fire attack damage by 50% for 4 turns. So it's very similar to the Fina from last part banners. And if you've been playing War Games, you know that Fina is a force to be reckoned with, and also she's very good in the current Familiar Rush that's ending tonight for AoE fights as well. So I believe this I keep saying Bell, you're Argonaut, I'm sorry, Argo. He's going to be very good for War Games, I can already tell, because if Fina's going to be great, he's going to be great. Awakening Spirits is his second skill. It's a AoE super fire physical attack with an ultra uncounter rate. And it also gives your allies, everyone on your team, 25% HP regen for 1 turn. So not only is he dishing out a huge attack after buffing himself, he's also giving your allies health regen at the same time for that 1 turn. And his last skill is Spiral Strike, a single target high fire physical attack with a temporary strength boost, and increases your opponent's status debuffs by 1 turn. So if you use something like a physical resistance debuff or something similar to that, that will continue to stay on your opponents and you won't need to consistently reapply it. So that's very useful in stuff like Record Buster or just boss fights in general. If there's a move that you use to debuff your opponent, and say that's like a weak move, this will keep that debuff on your opponent, and you'll be able to use a bigger, higher hitting move on a different character. And then for his abilities, you see Will of Fire. When he counters, it becomes a fire element attack. He does 50% more counter damage when he counters. He resists wind by 35%. And then his Ox Slayer ability, he'll do 100% more damage against Ox type enemies. One of which is definitely the Minotaur in the story event. Next up we have Cotto, the Ancestry. He will also be a physical attacker At level 80, he has very high attack and agility as well. At max ascend, again, he's also almost at 2,000 strength and over 1,000 agility. And with his art, we all know that Cotto is obviously related to Wealth Cotto, as we know in Danmachi. And as you can see here, there is probably a spirit coming out of his sword. So it's going to be very exciting to see what his story is going to be in part 2 as well. I can't wait. For his skills, his special arts is Fiery Protector, an AoE Ultra Fire physical attack with a temporary strength boost, and reduces your enemy's physical resistance and fire resistance by 35% for 1 turn. So you definitely want Cotto in the front of your party, especially if you're doing like combination attacks with special arts. So you want his special arts to go off first, so it applies those debuffs, and then other characters to go after that. And he's just going to pair up very, very well with Argo as well, because they're both physical attackers and they both are fire as well. And his first combat skill is Jolts, which is an AoE fast low fire physical attack. Sound familiar? And reduces the strength, magic, and agility of your opponent by 30% for 2 turns. So this first ability is pretty much like a combination of let's say a debuffing character that does strength and magic, like the movie Ryu, Roaring Gale Ryu, and then that agility debuff is like something you would use with like Lunar or Kurumi in war games, and they're putting those 2 characters into 1 unit, and not only that, but making it a fast attack. So he's going to be super good in war games, I can already tell, because he's debuffing 3 different things, and because he's debuffing agility and it's a fast attack, it'll pretty much make all your other characters go before your opponent if your Cotto is faster than, let's say, your opponent's Cotto, because once your Cotto goes, your opponent's agility goes down, and now all your units are probably going to go before your opponents are. And then his second skill is Pure Casting, which is an AoE super fire physical attack with an ultra unguard rate, and reduces the physical resistance and fire resistance of your opponent by 25% for 2 turns. Now, Cotto he's pretty amazing, because normally these are skills that you would see on like a balanced character, but he's a physical attacker with physical attacking stats with high strength and high agility, and he's having these abilities that can debuff your opponent, strength, magic, and agility, and also physical resistance and fire resist. So the pair of Cotto and Argonaut is going to be quite the thing to see in war games. And then his last skill is Vortex of Flames, a single target high fire physical attack with a temporary strength boost, and increases your allies' stats buffs by 1 turn. So if you have any buffs on your characters, when Cotto uses this move, it will increase those buffs by 1 turn, and that's probably going to be very useful in a Record Buster setting, or any time you're doing a single target boss fight, because he's able to increase your status buffs by 1 turn. That's 1 turn you might not need to waste like putting on your strength buff or putting on your magic buff or element buff on your characters during Record Buster, because there are a lot of characters that self buff, and those attacks don't do as much damage as their final attack. So if you only got to do that once and then just keep up those buffs with Cotto, that'll help a lot and increase your damage output and keep it up consistently. And then as for his abilities, Will of Fire, it's the same thing as Bell. I keep saying Bell. Argo, sorry. When counterattacking, his physical instead of a physical attack, it's a fire element physical attack. And then Strike, his critical attacks will deal 10% more damage. He resists wind by 35%. And then Piercing Strike will do 10% more damage upon penetrations. And now we move into the assist characters. First one, Final Reminiscence, Ariadne. It's very, very similar to her first character. She has very balanced physical attack and magic attack stats, pretty decent defense. And then as for her assist skill, like I said, it's very familiar. It's the same exact skill as her part 1 counterpart, except instead of decreasing your opponent's instead of decreasing your opponent's strength, it decreases their magic. As you can see here, at the final limit break, she will reduce enemy magic and endurance by 15%, and your allies will be able to nullify the first 3 elements done to them. So again, she's very, very good for war games when you're facing against opponents that might use ailments like stun, poison. That's something that the Devil Princess Eyes uses. Otaro has Taunt. So she'll be very, very useful. And then a lot of people are now using Fina and lots of magic teams, so that magic debuff will also be useful as well. And then the second assist, of course, is Indy and Orna. Her stats are a bit lower with the strength and magic side of things, but she does have a very high agility stat, so that might be useful to put on a character you want to go first. And her assist skill is reducing your opponent's physical and magic resistance, and also increasing the equipped character's counter and guard rate. At plus 5, that physical resistance and magic resistance debuff is minus 15%, and the character that is equipped to Orna will get a guard rate and counter buff of 30%. So remember, that says self, so it's just the character that's equipped, but the debuff effect is all enemies. So it's a very versatile assist character because she does both physical resistance and magic resistance. There are other assist units that do 20%, but if you don't have those characters, Orna is going to be very, very good for you. And also whatever character she's equipped to will have a very high counter rate and a high guard rate, and also a very high agility stat with a 603 at plus 5. And the other thing that was revealed in that news update is more details on the combination attacks that will be updated tomorrow. This is an example image, as you can see here on the right with Hero. What's your name? Isn't it Hero Ascension Bell? I think that was his name. But here you can see in his skill list, it says Fight with a Rival. That's his combination skill, and you can unlock it after ascending him to step 3 with the combination attacks. Like I said, they're triggered by special arts combos when used. Adventure units have the same combination attack. Will activate after the special arts combo. Combination attacks are unlocked by reaching certain conditions in Hero Ascension. And then for either physical or magic combination attacks that use the unit's strength or magic respectively, and that attack targets all enemies. And combination attacks are going to be something that's very interesting to see. Like when it'll be something to think about when you're like pulling on banners. Like, do you want to pull characters that have the same type of combination attacks? You can use them together, or do you want to use your Iris on characters that are just individually good? We'll just have to see how it goes. We'll need to see if these combination attacks are worth like rolling or using your Iris for, if you're just better off getting individual units for stuff you need for your team. And then there's a lot of part 2 paid bundles I'll be launching. As I usually say with gacha games, be careful with your money. Don't go overboard. This is the anniversary event, but be very, very careful. As you can see, all the paid bundles. There's the Argonaut Part 2 ticket, which is just a 11 draw ticket that doesn't guarantee a 4-star, it's just a 3-star ticket, but you can get 4-star characters. It's only 100 paid Iris. You can purchase that one time. There's the Argonaut Part 2 special bundle, which has an Argonaut Part 2 4-star guaranteed ticket, so you can get any of the characters from Part 2 with that ticket. And then there's also a 4-star guaranteed 11 draw ticket, which is just the general banner. And you also get large Fauna and Exilia books with that as well. You can buy that 3 times, and that costs 600 paid Iris. And there's the Mega Bundles A and B. A has a Star Bomb, which lets you an Adventurer Star Bomb, which lets you limit break in a time-limited Adventurer. And then the Mega Bundle B has a Assist Star Bomb, which lets you limit break a time-limited Assist character. And they both have 2 Argonaut Part 2 guaranteed 11 draw tickets and a 4-star guaranteed 11 draw ticket for the general banner. And these also give you a lot of large Fauna and also Exilia books. And these 2 cost 1,000 paid Iris each, and you can buy each one time. And there's also the 2nd Anniversary Battle Princess bundle, and that is a JP 2nd Anniversary 4-star ticket. You'll get 2 of those, and then also 10 Ascension Fauna, which is used for Hero Ascension. And that's 400 paid Iris, and you can buy that up to 3 times. And on to some more details about the Part 2 event itself. If you complete Part 2 of the event on Very Hard, you will actually get a free The Dawn Argonaut character. So that's going to help if you're trying to max out Argonaut 2+5, because you'll get a free copy just by completing these quests on Very Hard. And of course, there's going to be a new event shop and metal shop to farm, which means new hero lights to buy, new Ascension Fallen to buy, and a new hero medal and flame amulet as well, which helps you build up to 3 and get a regular prison bond to limit break, regular assist units, and regular adventure units. And then also, Part 2 quests will give you 4 times the amount of player XP points, which means it'll be easier for you to increase your player rank. And remember, each time your player rank increases, your stamina is refreshed, and you also get 10 iris as well in the time limit in the mission tab. Also, like I said, there's the medal box right there. It's very similar to the last one we just had, where you'll get 2 guaranteed 3-star tickets for each time you get the grand prize, and in the final round you'll get a 4-star ticket, single draw ticket for the general banner. And then there will also be a heroic trial for both Orna and Argonaut, and you can choose one of their bonds to get. And between the free Argonaut you'll get from completing the event and this heroic trial, it's probably gonna be pretty easy to get Arga to a high limit break. And remember, this event will go live tomorrow. If you're watching this video on the 8th, it'll go live July 9th, 2019 at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. There's also gonna be a record buster at the same time, and during this record buster it will be Otaro, and he will use the stun ailment. So whatever you use to prepare for that, whether that's stun anklets or just an assist that protects you from stun, go ahead and prepare for record buster. And then also remember that we'll be getting season 2 sub stories in the game. Like every week we'll be getting a sub story that goes along with the anime, and that will unlock every week after the airing of said episode, and that's every Friday if you're in the US. And we'll also be getting a new unit every week as well, and we already know what the unit we'll be getting this Friday is. It's going to be the Azure Goddess Hestia. If you've been watching the PVs, you'll know she wears this dress at some point in season 2, and it's totally not the first episode or anything, but she is of course an assist character. She has pretty decent stats. It's pretty average all around, but her assist skill is very interesting. It's funny if they have to list every element here, but basically it'll buff your fire, water, thunder, earth, wind, light, and dark resistance and guard rate by whatever where you're at, level 60 or level 80 at the max limit break. If you're level 60, that's by 10%. If you're max limit break, that's by 15%. So if you need additional defense, she'll be very good, especially for stuff like this Familia Rush, or just any hard encounters where you need to reduce your damage somehow, because now we have ways to increase your physical resistance, magic resistance, debuff the enemy's magic or strength, and now we have ways to increase our elemental resistance. So she'll be very good if you need a defensive unit or defensive assist if you're taking too much damage in events like that. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys for this update, and it's a lot of stuff to digest, but the event will start tomorrow. I'm very excited to play through the event itself. And like I said, I was going to be doing a story discussion on solely part 1, but I decided to just do them both together. I think the video will flow a bit better, and it's going to be really busy on my side of things because I'll be doing weekly episode reviews for each episode of season 2, and I still got to get that video out for people that are anime only and are going into season 2 without knowing stuff that happens in light novels 1 through 5, because the anime skips some things that I want you guys to know about if you're not aware. And also a big shout out to both Zero and also Gale Rise from the Technia Discord. I'll link Zero's Twitter in the video description. He's very helpful to me. He went to Anime Expo and gave me a lot of info about Danmachi Season 2 because he saw that panel and got that Fujino Omori Sensei signature. I'm not jealous about that or anything, but he's been very good to me. He's been very helpful, keeping you guys updated as far as the anime goes. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're excited for this event and also Season 2 starting on Friday. If you want to keep updated on what I'm doing, go ahead and follow my Twitter and join my Discord. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to keep updated with me. And as always, continue enjoying your time venturing in Rario and the dungeon. This is Lorne, your guild advisor, signing out.